Buenos tardes, gente. Yes, indeed, something a little bit different. This is Gun from Gunners Collective. I'm right here with Big Rojo, the Convict Perspective. We're here, man, mid-afternoon doing our thing, and we stumbled across an article, right? An article, man, about some youngsters, man, being hit. And it's just, I don't know the particulars into the article, but I do know that Rojo knows more of the information. We're going to get into it and shed some light on it and bring it to the gente in that fashion, man. Nulo. What's up, Big Rojo?
How you doing today, my man?
Oh, I'm just living.
Hey, so hey y'all, Flacco's doing a little bit of family thing today, man. So I asked Gunner if he could fill in real quick, and he was kind enough to take, 20, 30 minutes out of his day to do so. So appreciate you, my man, as always. And we'll go ahead and get into it, man. This is an Associated Press article that was pulled off of www.policeone.com. The title: Police arrest 2 gang members in killing of 2 boys in California. The 2 boys, ages 14 and 11, were fatally shot while sitting in a minivan in an elementary school parking lot. Union City, man. This is Dakota, Alvarado. For all you people out there familiar, this is a well-established, old neighborhood. The oldest, if not one of the very top oldest neighborhoods in the East Bay for sure. But here's the article, man. Union City, California. 2 teenage gang members have been arrested and charged in the November killings of 2 boys that stunned a San Francisco Bay Area community, authorities announced Friday. Jason Cornejo, 18, of Castro Valley, and a 17-year-old boy whose identity is being withheld because he is a juvenile, from Hayward, were charged Thursday with the murders of Sean Withington, 14 years old, and Kevin Hernandez, 11 years old, said Union City Police Chief Jared Renetti. The boys were fatally shot on November 23rd while sitting in a minivan in the parking lot of Searles Elementary School in Union City. The teenage suspects are members of a gang, but officials didn't name it during a news conference Friday, citing an ongoing investigation. A motive in the killings remains under investigation, authorities says. They are charged with 2 counts of murder with gang enhancements, said Chief Assistant District Attorney Kevin Dunleavy. The killings were done with the benefit, direction, and association of a criminal street gang, he said. It wasn't immediately known if they had lawyers who could speak on their behalf. Cornejo is scheduled to be arraigned later Friday. Violent incidents like this one rarely happen in Union City, Mayor Carol Dutra Vernacci said. The particular case occurred when an outside gang came into Union City to wreak havoc. Charging documents against Cornejo allege he and the co-defendant committed the attack as part of an ongoing gang rivalry. They also allege there were social media posts about Cornejo buying the potential murder weapon, an AK-47, as well as exchanges between him and the co-defendant discussing their involvement in the shooting, and even posts trying to sell the weapon after the shooting, the East Bay Times reported. Jesus Christ. Police in January released a surveillance camera image of a silver car they believe the suspects used. They also offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction of the perpetrators. The Union City Police Department said in a statement on Thursday, its officers, in coordination with partner agencies, have been dedicating countless hours to bring justice to the families of the victims and closure to the community. New Haven Unified School District Superintendent John Thompson said the boys attend schools in the district. Police Lieutenant Steve Mendez said there was no sign of a connection between the shooting and the school where it took place. People occasionally gather in the relatively secluded parking lot, Mendez says. 5 law enforcement departments and the state's attorney general's office helped in the investigation, official said. A successful investigation, arrest, and we hope prosecution of 2 suspects, while it may not extinguish the anguish, disbelief, or apprehension, maybe what it does is bring a sense of direction and purpose that we have to find some resolution to these senseless acts of violence, said California Attorney General Xavier Becerra. That's the article in full, word for word. Man, what's your first thoughts on that one, guy?
My very first thoughts is it's senseless. My second thought, which is almost as prevalent as my first thought, is you need to give them two individuals that did this the reward money because they done already told everything. We already know who did it.
Yeah, good
Um,
point, man.
yeah, right off the top, I mean, just listening to the article and thinking back in the 90s when we used to do things, not necessarily things of this nature, but things, um, wow, right? Social media has really took over to the point where, just like I say in my spills, it's all about likes, it's all about views. Everybody wants to let everybody know what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, but never why they're going to do it. And I say why because there is no why. There is no why. They use the gang. It seems like they use the gang and they use this hatred for one another as a cover up for just basically trying to become somebody and be popular within the social media realm or whatever the case may be. And that's what it looks like. This particular case right here, it looks like two young individuals that were trying to be associated. It doesn't say what gang they're from, but if they were actually going into Dakota, going into Union City, then more than likely they were from down south. I'm just saying that's just a no-brainer right there for anyone that knows the area. Um, and it seems like they were going in there hunting. What we used to call hunting back in the days, but when we did it, we threw on some Brother Lynch, we grabbed the AK, and it happened in, out, and then you never spoke on it again. But these guys are posting media pictures of the gun, trying to sell the gun. I mean, like I said, give them men the reward money, put it on their books, because they're going to be doing all day. That's just how I feel. It's senseless.
Yeah, man. My first thought is, man, obviously condolences to the family, and it's a damn shame when, like, I don't know if these guys are innocent or not. One of them's 11 years old, so it's hard to try to say, he's some bad gang member. The other one's 14. Both of these guys are relatively young. It could have been some kind of whatever, but for one, man, I was always taught to do things with a little sense of honor, integrity, and professionalism. Meaning, you don't do stuff at schools. You know what I mean? Maybe a fist fight when you're in school and your enemies at the same school, whatever. But you don't start chopping people up sitting in a van at school, bro. You know what I mean? You could bide your time and take care of business later, where nothing could happen. I mean, I don't know the layout, the scenario. I don't know if kids were in school at the time this happened. I don't know none of those details. It doesn't elaborate. But anytime an innocent victim gets gunned down, or even more than a very remote chance that an innocent person could be hit, you got to call that stuff off till later. You know what I mean? These guys are very, very young. They don't know no better. Obviously, they're big homies from their hood, didn't school them correctly. Maybe they don't have no father figure in the house. I don't know, man. But not only did they take a couple lives, they essentially took their own. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They're never getting out. They're being tried as they might even seek the death penalty. You never know. You know what I mean? With the gang enhancements and all that, because anytime you have a capital crime, which is like murder, and you add another felony to it, it becomes death penalty eligible. You know what I mean? So I mean, who knows if they're going to seek it? They're kind of young for that, especially the 14-year-old, but or however old they said he was. It's just a mess, bro. It's just, there's a time and a place for things, and I personally don't think like a school, a church, you know what I mean, a boys and girls club are the kind of places to handle business. You know what I mean? That's just
exactly.
me though.
Well, you said it. You said it correctly when you said that old saying. There's a time and a place for everything, or anything. And definitely schools have always been off limits, churches, places where old people frequent, just places where there's a lot of citizens. See, people get the misconception of just because you're a gang member, hey, anybody can get it. I'll go out there and shoot. No, there's repercussions for everyone's actions. And when you put a whole bunch of citizens and people that are not in the mix or not in that realm of that gang activity in the mix, and you're basically putting them in in what you're doing, um, there's going to be some repercussions felt for that. The big homies down the way, they don't feel it draws too much attention. Basically, at the end of the day, they could care less about who loses their life. They could care less about some little youngsters getting some clout. None of that matters. Like I said, there's only two things that matter at the end of the day. It's getting that money and not bringing attention towards how they're getting that money, period. But this goes back to something that was established in the 90s between the two big organizations of no drive-bys and things of that nature. So the reason being was not because innocents were getting hit. That had nothing to do with it. It was because it was drawing too much attention to these big organizations, which in fact was messing up the cash flow, right? And we all know at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So with these youngsters bringing this limelight and this attention, being so young, this is putting the spotlight on the gang. See, because they always try to make everything gang related. This, in fact, could have been some he said, she said over the internet. Hey, we don't like how you look. It could have been anything, but right off the top, the media, everyone's gonna turn it into a gang related thing, whether it was or not. And they see guys from different cities, opposite sides, and obviously, it was gang related. And then they, like you said, they hit you with those gang enhancements on top of the time that you're already looking at, and now it becomes death penalty eligible, right? Just like you said, I don't think they'll seek the death penalty in this particular case, but at the same time, these guys will never get out. They'll never get out, especially when California is broke and doesn't have the money for a lengthy trial like that. They save those for bigger and better things. These guys are going to get swept under the rug. They're going to get swept under the rug. They're just going to be two youngsters that threw their lives away, threw two innocent lives away, all for what? For a few likes, a few, well, look at, watch out. Bam, thumbs down. There you go. I hope you're happy. And now let's hope somebody puts something on your books. These youngsters never got to understand what life is all about. They never even got to go out there and really wiggle. I guarantee you none of them ever got none of that. They're too young. Maybe the 14-year-old, because I was already wiggling. But what I'm saying is, at the same time, they're not going to understand what life is really about, man. It's a sad thing, when things like this happen. But it happens all the time. I'm pretty much surprised, Rojo, that we're even reading this article, or we've even seen this article, because things like this happen every day. And like I said, they totally get swept under the rug. And all I can think is that they're trying to make examples out of these two kids.
Yeah, it does happen. It happens way too frequently, man, where I don't know if there's not a lot of elaboration in the article as to whether the two victims were also supposedly to have gang ties, or whether school was in, and things of that nature. And that's all kind of relevant. If they're out there, and it's summer break or something, and they just happen to catch up with them dudes at a parking lot by a school, maybe the whole not handling your business professionally thing wouldn't come into play. You know what I mean? If school's out, whatever, there's no kids. But at the same time, what you were saying about, the heat it's going to bring, man, it's going to, whatever hood them dudes are from, believe me, every law enforcement agent in that city now has a hard on for them dudes. And they're going to be kicking in doors. There're going to be traffic stops. There's going to be searches. There's going to be all kinds of things that happen. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. And these gang enhancement things, like the article's not specific, like we've discussed, but who knows the real reason that they pulled the trigger? It could have really been behind some highness. The victims may or may not have been gang members. But with all the stuff we've been talking about, gang enhancements and stuff, like yesterday with the article we dropped, the episode we did, no matter what you do, when they prove you're in a gang, man, forget about it, bro.
Yeah. Right off the top.
It's over.
Everything. Hey, if you steal a payday out of 7-Eleven, it's at the direction and the benefit of a gang. So you better gift skip this half, right? Now, look, this is the way the administration, this is the way the police departments look at it, because it's just another way to bury you. It's just another way to bury you. And to be quite honest with you, the people, the masses, they're all tired of gangs. They're tired of the wreaking of the havoc that it's happened over the years. And so they're kind of taking a stance and fighting back. And the only way to fight back is to basically do a one and done. You do one thing, they pile these gang enhancements on you, and you're done, bye-bye, right? And this is the way that they're cutting the heads off the snakes. This is the way that they're eliminating the manpower, right? Unbeknownst to them, these kids are still going to go in there. They're still going to wiggle. They're still going to get caught up in situations within the prison system. But the community is not worried, because the community's safe and keep them animals in theirs, what they say. But man, that's a whole different story. We can get into that some other time. Thing is, quietly as it's kept, it's just a sad situation all the way around for the families involved, for the community that now has to get looked at as, you know, because there's people that move in constantly in the Bay Area. You know, the Bay Area is a big tourist place. It's I wouldn't say overly populated, but there's a lot of people that go in and out of the Bay all the time. Beautiful place. And now you got people that are investors that will be like, no, 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 we ain't bringing our business to this community because these gang members are over here killing people. You know, so it's just all the way up and down the line, man. This one little event sparks a flame that just snowballs and could burn the whole city down.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, this incident, you know, disrupted, you know, that particular group's flow. And like you said, when businesses don't want to come in, then it starts messing with the government's money, you know what I mean, with their tax revenue, their property tax, their this tax, that tax, you know, the availability of jobs, you know what I mean? And like you said, the bottom line about the gang, that's the bottom line in life, bro, is everybody's worried about their pockets. You know what I mean? And when you start affecting people's pockets, be it gang members, be it the government, be in minding your own personal wallets, bro. You know, that's one thing you got to look at things and be like, what can we do to rectify this? You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about the dollar at the end of the day, no matter who you are, what you're about, straight up.
And that's what I touch on my channel and in my spills quite frequently is this younger generation, and not to put the younger generation down. Got a lot of love for the youngsters, but these youngsters are not being laced how we were laced, right? They're being laced differently. Everything is on a social media platform. There's too many eyes in the sky. You got drones, you got cameras, you got everybody's talking, everybody's watching everybody's every move, right? So you can't get away with nothing nowadays, right? And if you don't keep your mouth closed, you're getting away with far less than nothing. So with everyone going out there and wanting to be this man, wanting to be the man on YouTube or TikTok or whatever the case may be, it's just a sticky situation, man. And these youngsters are not being laced up correctly. We were laced up is to handle your business, shut the fuck up, keep it pushing, right? Go on to the next thing. Act like you never left the party, right? But these kids nowadays, man, it's different. They want everybody and their mother to know exactly that, you know, hey, look at, see him, hey, see his head? Yeah, I was there. I did that. You know what I mean? And okay, you know, law enforcement's like, got him, right?
Made our job easy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're making their job easy, man. These kids are not nowadays, they don't even have to give a confession. The confession's already on YouTube. So I mean, it's ugly. It's a bad situation. And like I say, man, it's just going to keep on happening unless those big homies, those vatos from certain barrios sit these youngsters down and establish some type of rapport with them and let them know that, hey, man, at the end of the day, yeah, it's cool. You got at the ops, the enemies, whatever you want to call them. But it ain't cool that you done brought all this attention to the barrio because, hey, law enforcement has been known to put whole neighborhoods on life support and shut them down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to mess with these big entities. When you mess with these guys, they can shut your pockets down and shut your whole body down just like that.
Yeah.
You know,
especially when an 11-year-old comes up dead, there's going to be a lot of anger. You know what I mean? And where is it going to be focused on? Oh, you guys are from such and such gang. All right. You guys are going to have fun now. We're pulling you over every chance. You know what I mean? The probation officers that normally don't go through your whole drawers in your house. You know what I mean? Yep. They're going through every little single thing. You got them dirty cops that'll throw stuff on you, you know, and it's just a bad situation, man. And speaking of the social media thing, just yesterday I seen on, I want to say it was on Instagram, 2 young females. I couldn't really tell if they were white or young Latinas, right? They had stumbled across a dead body and removed the jewelry from the body. And then they get home, first thing they post on Instagram, can't believe we took the jewelry off that dead body, and then start trying to sell the jewelry. It's like, is that so much of a crime? Not like the one we just discussed, but Jesus Christ, bro, you're putting I mean, the last thing that we'd ever do in our time is if you weren't involved in what we did, you didn't even know. If there's 20 homeboys in our hood, if 4 of us went to do something, guess who knew? Those 4. The other 16 homies didn't need to know, you know, and now you're putting it out there for how many people are on Instagram? Hundreds of millions. You know what I mean? Same with YouTube, same with Facebook. Facebook's got billions. YouTube's got billions. You know what I mean? It never goes away. Like, you can delete them posts and stuff, but I assure you that these companies, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they can pull that stuff back up. It never goes away. It's sitting in some damn big, building with a bunch of hard drives on it somewhere, and they'll pull that stuff right back up, and they will give it to law enforcement, man.
Oh, most definitely.
Straight up.
Pull my videos up, YouTube. I need those. Anyway, look.
Hey, real talk though, Gunner, they could do that. They
I know they could.
They could.
Hey, but we're gonna wiggle on to a new day, man, because that's what the gun does, bang bang. But at the same time, man, you're absolutely right. What I see what those girls did, man, was just plain stupidity, plain stupidity, and not even on a gang-related issue, just on a dumbass issue, right? That's just what that is. And if they still got those rings, you know what I mean? Tap in one time to my Instagram. I'll get them. Bang, bang.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, man, yeah, so it's unfortunate. And without trying to be too funny, man, it's just an unfortunate situation all the way around that young children had to lose their lives, and that this is the way it's trending. It's trending younger and younger and younger. I know how it goes. I was a youngster. I committed a heinous act as a youngster, doing my 187. But that was something different back then. That was a diamond in the rough, basically. It wasn't something that you heard of or seen every day. Now it's becoming prevalent. It's happening all the time. Shit, I feel like I'm just one of the fellas, right? But yeah, it's just a cold game.
Another thing too, man, all that social media, letting your location be known, I'm gonna slide up and all this and that. You see so many people getting robbed and killed on Instagram Live or Facebook Live, or, whatever outlet they're using. It's just like, man, we need to go back to, and I'm not just saying criminally, man, because I'm not trying to be pro-criminal or nothing like that. Go back to, how about a little discretion? How about a little privacy? You know what I mean? When you move, you know what I mean? The people who need to know how you move are your loved ones, so in case, you're going on a trip 20 miles down the road, they don't hear from you for a while. Maybe you got in an accident, and then maybe, you know what I mean?
No,
the
absolutely.
whole society doesn't need to know where you are for lunch. They don't need to know that you just took rings off a body. You know what I mean? They don't, it's just, come on, man. There's like no privacy in the world anymore at all. And people are voluntarily getting rid of their privacy, bro. And I don't get it, man. I'm a private person for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I do this, but I do this to convey a positive message. And the message in this one, why I think Flacco found this particular article, one, it's in Union City, Dakota, Alvarado, Union City, it's Bay Area, you know what I mean? And for two, we've been trying to push this. Remember, everything you do when you commit to this lifestyle comes with a gang enhancement. Anything you do. If there's a lot of people out there, younger people that, they'll be getting questioned and they'll be like, so what gang are you from? Bam, they'll tell them just like that. Like it's nothing. Not like, what's your address? Like, what gang you from? Oh, I'm from Barrio, Pittsburgh, California. Like idiots, bro. You never tell them that. You know what I'm saying? And because right there, that thing, 10 years later, you do a robbery, you're down on your luck, you need to come up. He's a gang member. Now you got a gang with crime. They're going to say you did that to benefit your hood, no matter what you say. And the jury's going to believe you because they start looking into what that group has done in the past and how they're obligated to have this kind of money and how they rob shit and how they sell dope and how they pimp or whatever you get caught with. They're going to attribute it to you trying to benefit your gang or yourself for the gang. Period. Most
definitely, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, and just to double back a little bit, man. Just like you said with these youngsters, man, wanting everyone to know where they're at all times. That's crazy. That's the catch me at Starbucks. How about that syndrome, right?
Yeah.
They want everyone to know where they're on, location stays on, and little do they know, man, you never know who's watching that. You could have a stalker, you could a weirdo, a guy that wants to do some violations to you, something very bad for no particular reason at all, especially with the young ladies, it's just an icky, sticky situation. It goes beyond that and gets real weird, but we won't touch on that. I'm just saying, you're absolutely right, man. Anything that you say in a court of law or to an officer will be held against you. They tell you that. So when you start volunteering your body or where you're from, how old you are, the best thing to do is just shut the hell up, go in there, man, and see
you're
where it goes.
You're digging your own grave when you admit.
Yeah, you're just digging your own grave. You might as well just throw yourself in your own grave, and that's what it is. But yeah, man, just an unfortunate situation. Things happen in life, and all we can do, man, is convey a positive message and push from there, man, and just shed light and tell everyone, man, it's not what it's cracked up to be. again and again. How many times do we have to show you? You know, hey, we're not telling you to be positive, but we're telling you to positively watch out, because that's what's happening.
No doubt. I think that pretty much sums it up, man. The message is, man, don't shoot innocent people. Don't shoot kids. Remember, there's going to be a gang enhancement for you. There's a different life. You can do it right. You know what I'm saying? This is a YouTube channel, but guess what? It pays my bills, pays Gunner's bills. And guess what? Ain't nobody kicking in our door. Straight up. Appreciate your time, Gunner, man, for filling in for the big homie Flacco. And I owe you one, my man.
Not a problem, not a problem, man. We got a lot going on my channel, man. As you people can see, I'm wiggling, I'm making moves, I'm making power moves in Gucci shower shoes.
Hey, you want to let some of my viewers know what you got coming up right now? Because I know you got some heat.
Man, I got some,
or is it a surprise?
I got some hot items coming up, man. Let's go ahead and tap in one time. I got I actually, you know, I never want to let anyone know exactly what I got coming, but I'll give you a sneak preview and say that I do have ex-Emmett associate interview coming tomorrow. Bang bang. Oh,
it's a banger.
Vicious and violent.
It is a banger.
It's a super banger. Someone that has never ever been interviewed before and will never be interviewed by anyone else. This guy he's a monster. Let's just say that, and his story will say as such. And then we'll go on from there. You know, I got several other ones. Things that I think people will need to know that they're really going to be hype about hearing. So we'll just do it like that. At the same time, man, I'm blessed to be contributing to your channel again, man, and to be you know, graced with your presence. You're the homie. You already know what time it is.
Likewise, bro. That sentiment goes both ways, man. Have a good rest of your day. All right, YouTube. It's your boy Rojo, joined by my homie Gunner, and we'll get back to you, man. You probably see me on live a little bit later. Have a blessed rest of your Wednesday.
Bang bang, and in that fashion.